Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Learning Fives Gold Plat Tournament Finals. I am your caster, Penguin God, joined today by X-Line. How you doing tonight, X-Line?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty darn good. Are you excited for this finals match?
I'm super excited about this, especially because at least Suckme, the jungler for one side, PM'd me specifically requesting me to cast this tournament, and I told him the only condition is if we get to see Kindred in one of the games. So I told him bamboozle equals bamboozle. So hopefully, in at least one of these games, we'll get some Kindred.
I hope so. It seems like the overlay has been a little janked up, but we will work with it between games, so bear with us, audience. We appreciate your patience. There's been
Some of these bands aren't exactly matching our pro draft bands. Apparently, one of the teams just decided to ignore that. The bands were originally Caitlyn and Cassidon, as well as a skipped ban for that team due to some violation of rules. Not the Soraka, Vi, and Udyr that you see. Um, Ornn was first picked, well, second picked actually. Zoe was first picked for Team Zhang Gang on the left, and then on the right, Ornn and Tristana were taken on the turn. They are currently drafting in LCS order just to make it a little easier
Yep, and they're
in terms
speeding it
of the
right along
matchups.
for us, which I really appreciate.
Yep.
This makes us get into the game even faster for you guys. But yes, these weren't the bans for each side. So I'll quickly go over the bans. Blue side banned Elise, Karma, Misfortune, Brandon, Janna. Red side banned Caitlyn, Cassidon. They got a ban taken away from them. And then they banned Jin and Jarvan the fourth. So these are just quick bans that nobody is playing so that we can get through the draft easy peasy, getting into the game as fast as we can for you guys.
Rip Iron ban.
Yep, rip Ivan Ban. Even though he's not being played, we never like seeing
Right.
Ivan banned. Poor guy.
I love the tree. So Zhang Gang has a comp of Zoe, Braum, Lee Sin, Zaya, and Jace.
Yeah,
Uh, I think Zoe's probably pretty broken on this patch. I think most people would agree with that. So definitely understandable in terms of why she was first picked. It will be interesting to see how this matchup with Jace goes against Ornn in top lane. A lot of people think Ornn is pretty overpowered right now.
yeah.
Trainee is kind of trolling, hovering over Ash here instead of Braum. I don't know why. Um, but in terms of the team comp and what they're trying to do, they certainly can do some team fighting, but I think they want to look to try to maybe get some picks. They have a pretty solid pick comp. Zoe and Lee Sin are obviously great at that, and Braum with his passive and be able to tag people with Q is pretty good at catching people out. So I think they'll probably try to control vision and get picks and play around objectives that way. For team ADC Machine Broken, they have a little bit more AoE centered comp, obviously, with like Vel'Koz and Anivia, and you have like Ornn doing his thing, and Hecarim kind of getting in there and fearing everyone and doing a lot of damage. But they can certainly also pick people off as well. They've got a fair amount of CC and things like that. So I think they might want to try to force a little bit more 5v5 action. If the Jace gets ahead, he can certainly do like a 4-1 split push. I don't think either of these teams are really looking to do like a 1-3-1 kind of split push. I don't think that's going to be in either team's interest. But uh, in terms of what the teams are trying to do, I think picks versus team fights are generally what we're going to look at here. Of course, it could change depending on how the matchups and the lanes go.
Yeah, that's very true. Blue side also has a lot of poke with Zoe, Jace, Lee Sin. They have just single target poke, and well, Zoe does a lot of AoE, and so does Jace, but generally super high range, super high damage. And if they can poke out this Anivia and this Tristana in this mid and late game, then they can win these fights very readily. Ornn and Hecarim can do a lot of work in these fights, but if their carries are gone, their upfront damage will fall off.
Yeah, the only problem I have with Zhang trying to do kind of like a poke siege situation is that Anivia's wave clear is so good,
Yeah.
especially if she's got a blue buff, that you're not going to make a ton of headway in terms of poking out an objective. But say they're around like a Baron instead of in a turret, then maybe like you said, they can kind of poke them down, get some damage in, and soften them up right before a fight happens. Even if they're not doing a split, that is one avenue they have in order to try to 5v5 team fight, but. In terms of trying to like siege down turrets and stuff like that, unless they get a pick on Anivia or she's mana constrained for whatever reason, I don't know that will be super effective for them in terms of an avenue to success. I think they'll have a lot more success in trying to split Jace off, assuming he's not too far behind, and then having Ornn match him there.
Yep, I agree. And with that, we are going to wait out the rest of this spectator delay and waiting to load into game with some music. Don't touch that browser. We will see you guys in just a few minutes.
But she said, trust me, these are the stories we will tell. As I stood frozen, infinite, I almost fell. But I got a feeling and my heart starts beating, a sudden rush of feeling alive. This is freedom and I won't change, I won't phase out. I know.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 1 of the Learning 5's Gold Plat Show Match Tournament Finals. This is Penguin God, joined by Xline, getting into Game 1. I am very excited for this game. How about you, Xline?
I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out.
I am too. These teams are taking a little bit to load into the Rift here from my end. Oh, I have it on 2.5 speed. What is going on? Spectator, what are you doing, buddy? Spectator client is having issues, guys. Is yours frozen as well?
Mine is in. and I'm looking at the stream, and it looks like you're frozen. I can try to dictate like a radio play-by-play here. Team Zhang Gang is doing a 5-man invade down through the bottom side of the river. They forced out a flash on Tristana, but it looks like they're just gonna back up. Not even dropping a ward for vision, just straight forcing the flash and bailing. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I would at least get the ward, but not a ton lost other than the Trist flash. Trist is gonna recall, get her HP back. Looks like other than that, they're fanning out on the entrances. I think Lee Sin is going to start bot side, and I think Hecarim's still going to start bot side as well.
It seems like League has completely frozen for me because I can't access either the client or the game. I can access everything else on my computer. Nope, it's just my left monitor that says no, I don't work now. Let me Control-Alt-Delete. Did that help? No, it did not. I'm trying here, guys. Give me...
I'll do some radio play-by-play.
Yeah, excellent.
Currently, bot lane is leashing Hecarim, pretty standard. And then Lee Sin starting at the red side. Both appear to be doing like buff wolf buff start. One interesting note is that Hecarim has actually taken Predator, which I think is like the default, like, oh yeah, of course you take that on Hecarim Mastery that everyone thought of when the Masteries first came out. But I know a lot of people were looking at Aftershock on him, and I've heard that's pretty strong, but I haven't actually played with or against Hecarim yet in the new season, so I'm not sure which Mastery is stronger, but we'll see exactly how this Predator does do.
Mm-hmm.
Hecarim does the trick to get HP off the Raptors as he's walking to his red buff. He's clearing that now. Lee is actually skipping his red buff to take the Scuttle to get some vision for his solos. Zoe's getting a ward to cover her in mid lane. Xayah and Braum are pushing up a little aggressively on the Vel'Koz and the Trist, but other than that, not too much action in the lanes.
So I'm going to try Alt F4ing and seeing if that works.
Alright.
And I might die here. Okay, I can reconnect. Cool. Alright. Because sometimes reconnecting or disconnecting from a spectator game puts you out of the spectator lobby, which can kick you out of the game completely. But I am loading back in. Here we go.
So Hecarim got some vision down for topside in the brush, as well as Lee getting the Scuttle. So both sides prioritizing river vision for their top lane. And Lee's coming for a gank here, but Hecarim's going to be there for the counter gank. He's going to be there in time. And looks like no. Lee Sin's going to get the first blood. Will Jace live?
Hey,
Right,
I'm in.
Hecarim gets the one Jace, but he also gets a return kill. So that's definitely good for Zhang Gang there, getting the double kill, including first blood. And it looks like the wave is also staying frozen for the Jace, who will presumably teleport as soon as he gets back in. So that's really good for them.
You'll never guess who finally made it into the game. It's me, by the way. Hi. I'm here. I live.
Alright, so Lee Sin just going to clear his Gromp and back here. Bot lane's still aggressively pushed up. I think the Xayah and the Braum just kind of want to keep the lane under their control. As long as they can keep the vision in the river from an avoided jungle gank, I think they should be fine. At least until 6. Vel'Koz is super low on mana from trying to poke out.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty hard for Zhang Gang's bot lane to survive this lane because Vel'Koz has a ton of poke, but Hecarim is already down here, going in, trying to get the Xayah down. Gets a lot of damage on the Xayah. Rocket jump in from Tai is awesome on Tristana. Not going to get a kill there. The poke from Vel'Koz coming in. A lot of pressure given up by Zhang Gang's bot lane for being pushed up so far on that lane. Blade Runner was able to run in and just deal so much damage to Habibi Poppy. Jeez, it was... How do you even pronounce that name? Ubeisk?
So we just talked about them being pushed up so far. Oh, we got some action.
Already did. That was fast.
The bait. But they were pushed up very aggressively, and we knew that was going to kind of draw Hecarim in, and I think they were anticipating that and trying to absorb that pressure. The problem is Braum whiffed his point-blank Q on Hecarim running straight at him. I don't know how that happens. But when he missed that, that was kind of problematic and forced Xayah to flash and forced them to kind of base. But they didn't lose a whole lot outside of both of Xayah's summoners, and Lee was able to kind of set up that return kill by waiting in the brush.
Nice knockback by Birkin there. Almost gets the kill onto this Orin. He's gonna try and jump in onto him. He's trying to do the dunk. The flash coming out from Ubesk. Nice, nice pressure by Bricken there.
We have some aggressive use of summoners across the map here. Both top laners without flash. We just saw Lee burn Vel'Koz's flash in bottom lane. We just saw Xayah burn both her summoners. So lots of summoners down. But so far, outside of that that top lane altercation and that trap that Lee Sin set in the river, we haven't had any kills come down from that.
Yeah, but the kills and the CS lead for this jungle and this top lane have already accumulated to about 1,000 gold lead for Zhang Gang here. And this is going to have a high impact considering they're a high damage comp. Very little tank. This Braum is going to be like their main tank. Jay's going to go down here to the Blade Runner's Hecarim. Obvious going to try and get the last hit. Doesn't get it. Blade Runner takes it. And another kill going down to this Hecarim.
It's pronounced Ubesk, maybe?
Ubesk?
Ubesk?
Okay.
I don't know. That makes the most sense to me, but who knows?
I'll go with Ubesk. That works for me.
Looks like Anivia got a pretty solid base off here. She's going to be able to catch this wave. It looks like Zoe is not choosing to base here. She's choosing to roam. She is full mana, full HP. I don't know. Oh, she already got a base off. I'm sorry. I missed her by.
Well, she does hit the sleep on Tutai is awesome. Doesn't get any damage off on her. And nothing going to happen there. Glacial Storm going to clear out the wave for Time's Broken Anivia. Time of Broken's Anivia, I should say. Clearing out the pink ward at 30 gold in his pocket seems good.
So Bonsai might miss the cannon for this roam, because it looks like Anivia's kind of zoning him out a little bit from coming back to the lane.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, he is going to miss the cannon, and maybe just one of the creep besides that. Maybe two. I don't know if he's in XP range for that one. But that is a little bit of a costly roam, considering he got nothing out of that.
Yep, that was a little bit costly. He missed some CS, missed the cannon, which is always impactful. And
this could be interesting down here. We got Lee looking for a potential dive. We have Hecarim right here on the blue buff to potentially counter gank this. This could get really messy.
oh, Lee Sin going again. The kill on Tutai is awesome. Bag of Salt being one going down first. Two BB Poppies. Xayah getting the kill down really easy. So much damage. Oh, the egg popped from Time Broken's Anivia. X-Trainee looking to get more damage on Tutai is awesome there, but doesn't proc the tower aggro. Good choice by X-Trainee there.
So the worst of both worlds for Hecarim, he stops his blue buff in order to come help. Isn't there in time to help, but blue buff also resets, and he wastes all that time on the blue buff. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. Now, I do want to point out that Zoe did take Flash and Heal, which isn't always the preferred choice for Zoe. Usually you want to take Cleanse because you don't have a lot of escape. Sometimes Barrier is the other choice, but you get a lot of options to get more summoner spells with that Spell Thief.
So what if she just steals the cleanse from Anivia?
She could. If Anivia has to use Cleanse, then yeah.
Like, I guess the main issue with relying on stealing it is it might not be up exactly when you want it. Because Cleanse is one of those things, like, you want it in that exact moment, just like Flash, you know, so...
And there's only a certain amount of time that it stays in your inventory, I guess, so...
Right. It's a really aggressive ward from X-Trainee. It looks like he backs off. I don't know that I would have gone into their jungle there with Zoe just having recalled and having, like, literally no priority and not knowing where Hecarim is, but, you know, he's a little more ballsy than I am.
Yeah, that was kind of a tentative situation for X-Trainee there. He could have gotten collapsed on, but Red Side didn't have the vision they could have used, but... Happy Poppy is actually doing very well on this bot lane, even though they could lose. Glacial Fisher coming in, trying to get the CC onto Bag of Salts, but Vel'Koz trading the damage as well as Sai is awesome, going very low, but Hecarim going in, trying to get the kill on Bonsai. Zoe almost going down. The Star Child dies in the mid lane. X-Trainee going to grab this pink ward after all of it has gone done and over with.
Tristana forced to use both Flash and Heal in the bottom lane, as well as Rocket Jump. Just barely does get away. Vel'Koz is currently still summonerless. We could see a dive here. His Flash is not up for probably another 20-30 seconds.
Yes, and blue side does have all but the Ignite on Braum. And that is the only summoner spell they are down right now on the bottom side of the map. Whereas red side has no summoner spells on the bottom side. The only summoner spell they actually have up right now is Time Broken's Cleanse. So that's...
We got a Predator gank again.
Call of Forge God coming in, knocking up the chase, getting damage up on him, but Hecarim going really low. Onslaught of Shadows coming in, nice flash by Birkin, getting out of there just barely, and return damage onto Obesk there. doesn't go down, either one of them.
And in recompense for that, Lee Sin is taking the dragon. So if they got that kill and they were able to force the wave into the turret, maybe force Bricken to lose some XP, maybe that's worth it. But just burning the flash and trading the dragon, probably not worth. Which is
Definitely not worth.
Unfortunate.
Definitely not worth, especially since UBS doesn't even have his teleport up yet, and that's also the ghost burned by Blade Runner. I'm pretty sure he ghosted there.
Yeah, the ghost does have a pretty short cooldown as well as the predator boots, so he's probably fine using that on basically like every gank.
Yeah.
Because that will be back up shortly. That's one of the really awesome things about Ghost. One of the reasons you take it on champions like Olaf and Hecarim is because of that short cooldown. And if you get to trade that Ghost for a flash, that's definitely a win for you.
Yeah, it is.
But not if you're giving up like Drake or some other objective on the other side of the map. Lee Sin a little deep here.
Getting caught a little bit. He does use a blast cone to get away though, so he doesn't lose a whole lot other than about half of his HP. Doesn't even burn any summoner spells, which is good. Oh, sleepy time going on to time broken there. Doesn't really have any effect other than stopping him from getting probably 1 CS or so.
So we do still see CS leads in bottom and a slight CS lead in top. Ornn caught up a little bit after that early first blood gank.
Yeah.
But Anivia actually has the CS lead in mid, despite the fact that the jungle pressure has definitely been on the side of Zhang Gang. So part of that might be due to these aggressive roams there's always been making down bottom, like we've been talking about, losing a little bit of that CS from those roams. But we'll see how this continues to play out. Definitely an item advantage in bottom lane, speaking of that CS lead. BF Sword and Caulfield's Warhammer are probably going into S3 over there against the pickaxe and some daggers.
Ubius getting some damage off return damage. Birkin's Jace doing so much damage to the Ornn. Ornn getting about half health, but now Jace about half health too. The Blade Caller coming out from Zai, getting the kill on Tai is awesome. Call the Forge Guy going in, trying to get the kill onto Bricken. Bricken getting knocked up by it. Ubius trying to go in, gets the kill with the Forge Breath. Good job.
Feels bad, man. That shield's a tilter.
Yep.
I actually don't know that Bricken needs to be picking fights with Ornn right now. With as strong as his jungle and his bottom lane are, I think he just needs to kind of farm it out and then make sure he stays alive. Like, one of the only ways I think right now they lose this game is giving kills to this Ornn and letting him kind of snowball around the top side. Like you see the Rift Herald going over to the Hecarim right now. That's probably not as safe if Jace is still alive. Things like that. So with the leads that those other lanes had, I don't know that I would have aggressively taken that fight.
Yeah, I don't either.
Swap here.
It was really close though, so I can see that.
Yeah, but there's no real reason to take that coin flip if you have the lead in your bottom lane, right?
Yep, exactly.
Ooh,
Time Broken getting caught out. Time
Blowout.
Broken's Ignivia is down, is gonna get. Oh, it is actually back up again. Drowsy Ignivia asleep going in. Blade Runner going down. They did get the Rift Herald onto the Ornn, but the two of them go down for it. 2 easy kills going over to get Zhang Gang there. They do initiate a lane swap in this lane. They're trying to get the pressure down because Habibi Poppy and X-Trainee did get the tower in the bot lane, so they're sending them top lane to try and get that tower as well.
The paddle star in that fight hit the scuttle crab, which was definitely a feels bad man moment, but it looks like they were still able to kind of clean it up. We do have the Xayah in the top lane here, trying to get this turret down with this lane swap. I think this Jace should be able to hold in the bottom lane here.
Yeah, he has pretty good wave clear. One thing I want to point out is that Zoe doesn't have as good a wave clear as Anivia does. She does clear out waves fairly decently, but not nearly as well as Anivia. So she's gonna have to clear out waves pretty heavily if she wants to do anything. But Habibi Poppy does get that tower in the top lane, meaning that they're gonna have open map pressure in the bot and the top side, but the mid turret is still alive.
We do have 3 down here bottom. We could see a fight, but looks like they've got enough disengage.
Yeah, looks like it.
Side of the ADC machine broken, so.
Now this is already a 4,000 gold lead, or about 2,500 gold lead for Zhang Gang here. Ooh, Paddlestar almost connecting there. Time Broken doing a lot of damage to Bonsai. Already doing so much. The Wall of Frost coming in to try and kill Bonsai. Bonsai does go down to the Glacial Storm. Blade Runner looking for X-Trainee here. That's awesome. Rocket jumping in. Just kind of wanted the fruit, I guess. Why would you fight if you just want fruit?
That mid fight was interesting. Zoe did a lot of hopping around with her ult and a lot of fancy stuff, but she wasn't really getting anything done.
Yeah. Blade Runner getting a focus on your Time Broken. Also, the Glacial Storm doing so much damage to Lee Suckme. Lee Suckme going down to Time Broken's Anivia.
I was gonna say I kind of feel like the Zoe might have outplayed herself a little bit in that fight because she wasn't really doing anything while the Anivia was just getting free damage.
Oh.
But
Rip Blade Runner.
yeah, it was really good Q from the Jace.
I agree. That
Howard
was
Q.
rough. It was rough to see.
All right, so Ornn is, I guess, looking to pressure this top lane, probably with Rift Herald, to see if maybe he can pull some people up there to open up mid. But I guess they're backing off of pressuring mid. I thought they were going to continue to do that with Anivia, but it looks like that is not the case.
I agree. Now,
Drake coming up in 16 seconds, and it's a Mountain Drake.
Yep, Dragon is coming up very, very soon, and it's going to be, just like you said, a Mountain Drake, and both teams are going to want this because both teams do a lot of damage to objectives, and if they can get even more damage, that just means they can propel themselves even further in the lead. Now, this is going to be the first turret going into the side of ADC Machine Broke, and that means that you're going to have even more gold in their pockets, going to even up the gold lead a little bit. They're now only 2,000 gold behind, which is a huge impact. Time Broken does get the blue buff. Always good for Nivea to have that. She does kind of run into mana problems in the mid game, and this is the exact time where she wants that blue buff.
Hey, even though ADC Machine Broken is down in gold, like you said, if they can stall the game out, like a 2k gold lead isn't that much in the first place, but if they can stall the game out, the longer the game goes on, the less that gold lead matters. And Anivia is very good at stalling the game out with her excellent wave clear. They'll cause as well. So this game is still anybody's ball game. We do have a Rift Herald up in top. Looks like we're going to try to get some pressure for ADC Machine Broken to maybe make a dragon play if somebody responds with this.
Call the Fortune coming up to try and get Birkin. Birkin does get knocked up. Does get also knocked up by the charge there. Birkin taking so much damage. Man, Iceborne Gauntlet does a lot of work here. Ubius flashing in to try and get the kill. Forge Breath doesn't get the kill, just barely missing it there. Now just imagine if Ornn had a electrocute there. Blade Runner going in, trying to get damage off, does avoid the Glacial Fissure. I think that's what it's called, right? Yes, Glacial Fissure.
Team ADC Machine Broken just doesn't do a ton of damage right now.
They don't really.
To Team Zhang gang.
Well, I think what they need to do is they need to start playing around Time Broken and Ty is awesome because they're the only damage on the team, and even then it's not as much. Later in the game, it'll be even more damage. Tristana does way better in the late game than Xayah does, and she can just pop everyone if she can get there. But Blade Runner looking to get this CS in the bottom lane while he waits for them to play this dragon dance.
They're kind of zoning him off the dragon, but they're not able to actually do the dragon, so they're not really accomplishing anything with this song and dance. So.
Time Broken getting a little bit caught out here. Does flash to try and get out. Doesn't get killed there, which is really good. Blade Runner trying to go in. Does get damage onto at least Suckme. Onslaught of Shadows coming in, almost getting the kill, but not really. Does get the kill with the Ice Shard. Nice job by Time Broken.
Triforce is pretty real. The Triforce damage definitely chunked Lee out there.
I agree.
We do see the Ninja Tabbies, which is probably a pretty good call for the Hecarim there.
Yep.
And of course it's Predator enchanted, so he gets that extra move speed, which is very synergistic with Hecarim's kit, giving him the bonus damage. And it does free him up to the dragon with that pick on Lee.
Yep. Now because the jungler is down, they have a smite, whereas blue team does not. It could have gone down the other way.
That was actually pretty close.
Yes. It always feels way close. Oh. Nope.
They give up a little bit of mid priority to take this dragon because they're getting zoned off of their mid turret here. I don't know. They are going to be able to take it down here.
They did get drowsy. They did. Yeah, Zoe did use her super happy sleepy time. I think that's what it's called, or some weird stuff like that, to zone off the entire red side team. But Time Broken does do a lot of damage on Tristan and does do a lot of damage to Braum though. Braum does a lot of tank stats compared to the rest of the team. Now, at least Suckme is going pretty high damage. Blade Runner laughing a little bit with the sleepy Tristana there.
So the trade for the mid turret for the Mountain Drake, I don't think is the worst for ADC Machine Broken. The mid turret is a little easier for them to defend rather than that outer turret in mid tier 1. Uh, but at the same time, it does open up the map a little bit more for Zhang Gang in terms of getting vision and the ability to roam about the map and access to both sides of the jungle for trying to set up for the epic monsters for future dragons and barons. So we'll see how that trade works out going forward.
The red buff going over to Ty is awesome. That means he's going to be able to do a lot more sustained damage in these fights. He's also going to be able to slow people who are trying to get near him. He also has a static shiv, which means he's going to be able to apply a lot of damage on the entire team here. He's already starting to get to that 2-item power spike of Tristana. As soon as she gets Infinity Edge, it's a huge power spike for her. Extrañy looking for it. Bonsai trying to do damage. Does get a lot on a Ty is awesome though. That was like 2/3 of his HP without much of effort.
So we do see both the top lane teleports shifting down to bottom lane right now, and the reason they're doing that is the other teams want to play four men around dragon, and ideally you want to have a teleport advantage with your bot lane split pusher. So we talked in the early game about the 4-1 split push, and it looks like that's what both teams are executing. I think Jace is typically what you think of as like a quintessential split pusher. Ornn, not so much. I mean, obviously he can, and any teleporting top laner can, and Shanks are no exception.
Bag of Salt getting bursted out there. That's so much damage, Bonsai. Jeez.
But I think as Jace scales up, he'll have a little bit more of an ability to win those fights between the two of them. But we'll see how that plays out. We do have a Baron going down here.
Yep, with that pick on their Ty is awesome. Gonna try and do some damage in this fight, but Bag of Salt is dead. Blade Runner is dead. Birkin is gonna teleport in. Does get damage onto Ty is awesome. Doesn't quite kill him. Global of the Forge gonna get onto Extrañy. But Ornn trying to go out, but gets ulted back in. Birkin getting the kill onto Beast. Going back to the Baron, and I was already low. They pick it up. Easy Baron. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but good Baron going over for blue side.
It was a really good job on Team Zhang Gang to kind of call off the Baron, wait for the teleport to finish, kill the Ornn, and then finish the Baron. They were able to keep it from resetting by staying in the area without dying. So,
oh, pause. Ubiisk is having lag issues. Has to reconnect to the game. Now, this is a good time for us to evaluate the state of the game. What do you think is going on here?
all right, so now that they have Baron, again, the 4-1 split push that we were talking about becomes that much stronger because you got the Baron buff in 2 lanes. So it's already kind of a tall task for Ornn to kind of defend against the Jace 1v1 in a solo lane, and now he's got the Baron empowered minions to kind of push with him again. And now that Baron's down, they can swap back into top lane and play around the upcoming dragon. However soon that's going to be, probably like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. The other 4, I don't think they'll do a 1-3-1. I think the other 4 will stay grouped, as though he's not really much of a split pusher. So the other 4 will probably either push mid or bottom, and just look to apply pressure there. And because they are stronger and they do have the gold lead, they should be able to kind of constrict the vision in the jungle around whichever turret or lane they're sieging, and hope to get picks with like the sleep bubble from Zoe, Elise, or not Elise, Lee, at least suck me on Lee, getting like a Lee Q on somebody, and obviously doing just a ton of damage with his electrocute and Black Cleaver build, or even getting Braum tag on somebody. So if they can kind of constrict that vision, they can make it a little harder for Team ADC Machine Broken to move between those 2 lanes to kind of defend. And they can get some free picks. And obviously, as we just saw, the power of a pick lets you get objectives. They got that 1 pick and were able to take Baron Nashor off of it. So if they get another pick, then they can take some turrets off of it, especially with the Baron empowered minions. So
I agree.
That's the way that they need to play that. The way that ADC Machine Broken needs to try to defend it, obviously you want to make sure you're not getting picked off. And the way to do that is get as much vision as you can down. Obviously, someone's going to get swept up. Sweep up as much of their vision as you can safely. And then just try to wave clear and stall it out with Anivia. Anivia getting blue is the first step for that, so that's good. But right now, they don't want to force any fights. They want to force the fights to come to them under the turrets. Let the turrets act as like a 6th man for you. So we'll see who executes better here.
I do want to point out that they did grab that mid turret, so that's even more gold in their pockets. They are about 5,000 gold in the gutter there, so it's gonna be harder. God, I am having issues right now. It's gonna be harder for them to keep up with this Baron push. OBS is the target right now. There's a lot of damage onto him already. It doesn't seem like a lot, but Ornn does like having full HP, as most champions. As most champions do. So
So it looks like Jace is actually going to come group with them rather than splitting, but you can kind of see him just waiting around on top of these wards in the jungle looking for these picks. And you can see, you know, Hecarim with the sweeper trying to sweep out those wards, sweep out where they're at so they don't get caught unawares. I don't agree with Jace coming here to kind of poke. As we were talking about earlier, that poke isn't going to be quite as effective with a blue buff and Nivea kind of just clearing out these waves aggressively. They get a lot more if Jace is sieging in top lane. And it looks like they're just going to rotate as a whole team up the top, but as long as ADC Machine Broken rotates as well, I don't know if they'll get a ton done here. They do have a big wave, though.
yeah, that is a massive wave, but
Yeah,
AC,
okay.
it's gonna go down, but AC Machine Broken is gonna clear it out, so they can't push any more of that. Ooh, so much damage going down to Bag of Salt there. The Paddle Star doing so much damage.
They do have the inner path on mid turret now, though. ADC Machine Broken can't safely get to that to defend it, so they do end up getting both of those tier 2s, despite taking a little bit different path than what I anticipated them to do. Still ended up working in the end. Now it looks like they're going to ward up the jungle, take some of that on their way out, and then probably go down towards bottom to clear that out, get some Scuttle Vision. Drake timer is 16 seconds. They might stick around to take that.
Zoe's landing so many of these sleeps onto Team ADC Machine Broken. Just so much CC on her side. It's just so much that they could be doing if they weren't asleep for half the game.
ADC Machine Broken should not be trying to contest this. They're just walking right into another trap.
They are. Blade Runner being the target as well as Bag of Salt. Bag of Salt, liking the one who's going to be going down here, does get taken out by at least Suck
That was
Me.
super greedy. They need to just try to stall the game out as long as possible. Yeah, you have to give up a Cloud Drake, but like, there's no way you can safely contest that. You just give that up. Looks like Hecarim's actually going to get out here.
Ubius going down to Zoe. You see that Ubius doesn't really have a whole lot of MR. He just bought the Abyssal Mask, which he's so he's not going to get one shot as easily. But there's so much damage. At least Suck Me trying to get the kick in. Does get the kick in onto the Drowsy. Time broken. Doesn't get the kill yet. Zayek flashing in to get the kill. BB Poppy going so greedy for this. Does get so much damage onto the Nivea. Does take him down along the Hecarim, but at least Suck Me's Lee Sin going down in that fight. Ty's awesome, gonna go down, but not before taking out BB Poppy. BB Poppy getting the kill, but X-Trainee doesn't go down to Bag of Salt. Now that's an ace for Zhang.
The greedy plays that you can make when you're 9k ahead. That said, I don't know that I necessarily agree with flashing that aggressively into the base like that, but in the end, they are ahead enough that they're still able to take the inhibitor turret here, as well as the inhib. And I'd imagine they'll probably back up, take the Drake, and then reset.
Yep.
They might just back without taking the Drake, since they don't have a jungler. Yeah, it looks like that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, because at least Suck Me went down there, they don't get to take the dragon for free. But that doesn't mean they have a mid pressure open, so they're gonna be able to go into both side lanes and be able to pressure those two lanes at the same time while mid lane is being pushed in.
Yeah, if they do an actual 1-4 now with top and bottom, then they actually have 3 lanes worth of pressure. Because obviously, like you said, mid lane with the super minions, and then Jace in like top lane, and then 4 in the bottom lane. Especially if the 4 go pick up like Dragon first or something like that, and then just roll over into bottom lane.
Now, with all the pressure that Zhang has right now, how, in your opinion, X-Lane, how does Team ADC Machine Broke win this game?
Well, like I was talking about earlier, they need to just kind of stall it out as long as possible. The longer you stall, the less that gold lead matters as you're catching up in gold. And like, even if you're still 2k down, like 5 minutes later, that 2k is a smaller percentage of the total gold for both teams. So like, they just need to stay defensive, sit behind their turrets, wave clear with the Nivea. That's why like high wave clear champs are very good at just kind of stalling out towards the late game and scaling up that way. Because they do have, you know, really good scaling in Tristana and Nivea for the late game, and Vel'Koz obviously just does a ton of damage. But they kind of put themselves in a bind when they went to go contest that dragon and put themselves behind further and lost the mid.
Yep. Call the Forge goes coming, almost takes out Rick in there. But so much damage. Call the Onslaught going, or Call the Shadows going in. Onslaught of Shadows, God. a lot of people dying in this bot lane. It's a 1-for-1 trade, jungler for jungler, but Jace does go down the top side too, BS, because Ornn, the turret does end up going down. They can't save that. BB Poppy, the next target of UBS here. UBS does get the knock-up off on him, but he is drowsy. He is going to sleep. He is going to sleep forever with death. The CC going up, the Blade Caller going in, trying to get the kill on the Time Broken. Does not quite get it. The Comet coming in. Oh, Ty is awesome. Almost going down. The red buff? Red buff does get it.
Got him.
Does get it. Nice job by Bonsai there.
So Ornn soloing at the Jace and then being able to still teleport into the fight is huge. Obviously, they still lost the fight, but that is one of the ways that they can kind of get back into that game. And that's, again, a situation, like I was saying with Bricken. Like, obviously, you want to split and keep another person there with you. And if they leave, then obviously you get to raise the turrets. But I don't know that you actively want to look for those fights. Because, again, even if they're close, it's kind of like a 50-50 coin flip. If you win, obviously you're in good shape. But if you lose, that's like one of the avenues that the other team can use to get back into the game, right? So maybe not the best decision to take that all-in fight against the Ornn, especially because he does have, you know, so much armor with the Iceborne Gauntlet and the Ninja Tabby, and he's so tanky with his shields and everything like that. But that said, they are still up, you know, 10 kills and 11k gold. They've got the mid inhibitor down. They've got map control enough to force another Nasher. I don't know that it's necessarily going to cost them too much, but just in terms of theoretically how you'd want to play the chess match, that's definitely something I disagree with.
Yep, but I will point out that Red Side is stalling the game as well as they can at this point. They are really far behind in this game, but Blade Runner is going to look to try and get this with the Onslaught of Shadows. He does have it. He is not going in. Doesn't try and take it. He could have done it, but oh, a lot of damage. Bonsai almost taking out Ubius there. Doesn't quite get him with the Paddle Star. Almost taking him out, though.
Alright, so I think we'll probably see just a 5-man stack with Baron here, pushing with this giant wave up towards the top inhibitor. I don't think they're super interested in doing a split push anymore, considering Ornn's clapped him out.
Bag Assault getting caught. Call of Fortune going in to try and get the CC. Knocks up 2. Onslaught of Shadows coming in to try to get the kill. Blade Runner going down. Time Broken going down. I think that's going to be game. 3 of the members of ADC Machine broke down. Super minions in the mid lane. Baron buff on these minions. I do believe this is going to be game 1.
Yeah, I don't see a situation in which this is not over here.
Yep, this is going to be game 1. Zhang Gang taking game 1 over ADC Machine Broke in the Gold Plat NA Learning 5's tournament finals. Getting the win, getting the Nexus, taking out Ty's Awesome in the last moments. Closing thoughts, X-Line, before we send it over to a break.
I thought that was really, for the most part, really well executed by Zhang Gang in terms of executing their plan. We talked about how they really wanted to look for picks and kind of constrict the vision. Every time they got a pick, they immediately got an objective off it, whether it was Baron or Inhibitor or whatever it was. So I think they executed that really well. ADC Machine Broken, their win comp was obviously stalled out. They had some times in which they did that well. Other times in which maybe they didn't execute quite so well. They'll probably want to look back at some of their early laning and see what they can do to kind of change some stuff up so they're not in the hole to begin with for next game. But it'll be interesting to see what they've got.
Yep, and that is going to be game 1. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3, so Zhang Gang needs to win one more game before they win the finals. So we're going to send it off to a break and some music. Be with you guys very soon.
I wanna take you out of, take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of, I wanna take you out of, take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of. Take you out of, take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of, I wanna take you out of, take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of. Take you out of, take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of, I wanna take you out of, take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of. Take you out of, I wanna show you off. Take you out of, take you out of, take
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second game of the Learning of Fives Gold/Plat Finals. It's me again, Penguin God, joined here by X-Line. Pick and bans are underway.
And I am super hyped because we did the pro draft bans before this again, and I can't even wait. I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it now. We do have a Kindred pick, the pick that was promised. Elise Suckme did agree to play Kindred in order to get me to cast this match and followed through with it instead of bamboozling me. So I am super hyped about that. Kindred's my favorite champion. I love me some Kindred. We're about to see some sweet gameplay. Although I will say, Scumbag ADC Machine Broken did pick Kha'Zix before that. Not after. The Kindred was picked into the Kha'Zix, which is full man mode, because that's like one of the worst matchups for Kindred, outside of like probably Xin Zhao right now because he's ridiculous. But the Kha'Zix Isolate is a super bad matchup if Kindred ever fights him 1v1. So obviously you can play the matchup, you just have to avoid fighting him and like match gank on the other side of the map or vertical jungle or whatever it might be. But anyway, into the other parts of the pick and ban, we do have Zoe and Ornn both banned this game, which is not a huge surprise considering how strong both those champions were last game. Jace was banned away, as well as disregard the bans you see on your screen as they are not factual. Lee Sin and Jace were both banned out of the champions that were played last game. I think those are the only champions that were played. Oh, and Nivea was also banned out of champions that were played last game. And then Jin is still in ban prison, as Habibi Poppy is a Jin main.
Yep.
We do have an interesting pick. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we have Tryndamere in this top lane. I'm always a fan of Tryndamere. He does a surprising amount of damage in all points of the game. A lot of people don't have a lot of practice against him because he isn't played as much anymore, but he can easily carry games single-handedly.
Yeah, Tryndamere is definitely my favorite top laner. He's who I play when I play in top. Not that I'm any good in top lane, but he's a lot of fun. If you know what you're doing and you know the matchup, you can easily get first blood on people. Just because they underestimate the damage from your rage bar, and like when you lose life and you get the increased damage from your missing life. And then in the late game, he's just a split push monster. I am kind of surprised to see the ignite instead of the teleport. I know a lot of Tryndameres take ignite in solo queue. Boxer Pete and Fogged are pretty big fans of doing that. But I think teleport is actually better when you're playing in a coordinated team environment, because I would expect to not see the Tryndamere just like solo kill people in lane constantly, but we'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how it works out for him. He could switch up that Summoner Smell before the lobby is done with, so we don't actually know if he does stick with this ignite for now. But the GP banned out. The Orianna picked up against this Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz and Orianna is actually kind of an even lane because they both have a lot of wave clear, they both push lane really well, and they both have the potential to kill each other. Vel'Koz does have, with the 2v2 matchup with Kha'Zix and Kindred involved, I would say Kha'Zix Vel'Koz has a better chance of killing them than Kindred Orianna does, because Kha'Zix and Vel'Koz has a lot more AoE CC, and if Kindred Orianna are anywhere near each other, Vel'Koz can get that knock up and get both of them in. So it's a lot of damage that could easily go onto both Kindred and Orianna, and we'll have to see how Time Broken and Blade Runner play this.
Yeah, I would. In terms of the jungle matchups, I'm obviously going to put myself in the shoes of the Kindred because I love Kindred. I would not opt into a 2v2 in the mid lane. You obviously don't want to opt into any of the 1v1s because Kha'Zix just crushes you in the 1v1 with the execute damage unless like he's really low and you get the jump on him or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime you have a high burst champion like Vel'Koz, you really don't want to opt into that. And Orianna can kind of just farm that lane out. She shouldn't be in too much of a risk there. So I would try to play around either the top lane or the bottom lane. This Cho'Gath is again a troll from Xtrainy. I don't know why he does this to us.
Xtrainy is giving us the fat baits. We already know what he picked. The Nunu also wasn't the original ban. Yeah, he does pick Blitzcrank here, and the Nunu wasn't the original ban. They just banned some random champion to try and get to go by faster.
So I think Xayah Blitz has a fair amount of kill potential in bottom lane. If you look for a gank there, I mean obviously Tristana and Leona have kill potential as well. But I think that's a fairly volatile lane, and that it gives you a lot more opportunity to kind of jump in and out of the fights with that low cooldown Q. One of the really interesting things about Kindred that one of the master Kindred OTPs on NA said is like all your damage is basically guaranteed on Kindred because it's not like Elise or Lee Sin where like you have to land your cocoon or your Q, right? Like you don't have any skill shots.
Hmm.
Like everything is just all guaranteed damage, and especially because you're ranged, like you're gonna be able to hit people. The problem is you're obviously very fragile, so you've got to make sure to be able to kite and high damage champions with gap closers are obviously problematic for you, which is why like Kha'Zix is bad, Zinzal's bad, Jax is bad, all those things. But if you can kind of kite around the outside of a fight with like a Leona and a Tristana in the bottom lane, you can put out a lot of damage and you can stay reasonably safe. And then of course with the E execute damage, if you get like a pull from a Blitzcrank or something like that, you can just absolutely obliterate somebody. So um, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out from Kha'Zix's perspective. If you can get a 2v2 fight in mid, obviously that's advantage for them. I don't know if that's going to be the case. He's going to want to look to try to invade and force those 1v1s on Kindred. I think he can potentially play around any lane on the map, depending on how they're doing, obviously. He doesn't have the same kind of restrictions in terms of what fights he wants to opt out of. So he gets a little bit more freedom in terms of his pathing and where he can go. But that said, it is going to really depend on how the lane matchups are going. I don't know if there's any that really stand out as specific ones that he's going to want to camp early, other than trying to get those 1v1s with the Kindred and aggressively invade. So he's probably going to be looking for whichever lanes have priority and playing around those as his strong lanes. Because if those lanes have priority, it makes it a lot easier for him to roam in the jungle, get vision, and potentially get kill pressure or counter jungle, because his lanes are able to roam more quickly, and Kindred's lanes will not be able to roam due to either missing CS and XP to do so, or just simply not being safe because they follow the opposing laner. They could just simply get turned on and killed. So it will certainly be interesting to see how the two of them play that.
Many very good points made, Exline. For now, though, we're going to wait out the rest of this spectator delay with some music, some tunes, and we're going to send it back to a wait screen, and then we'll hop back in when we get into game. See you guys soon. Don't touch that browser. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with Game 2 of the League of Legends Learning 5's Gold Plat Tournament Finals. We already have a 5-man stack here by Team Zhang Gang, trying to get some wards down, possibly in this top side, or eventually get a kill. But we have a 5-man stack on the bot side by ADC Machine Baroque, trying to counter that.
Yeah, the anytime you see a blitzcrank, alarm bells should go off in your head. You're gonna get 5-man invaded, or you potentially could get 5-man invaded. So it makes sense to do a 5-man.
Ubia's gonna walk into it though.
Ooh,
Extra hit it. He hits it.
Got it.
Gets the pull. Gets the flash out.
Not first blood.
No first blood, but does get the flash out.
But yeah, anytime you have a blitzcrank, you're obviously heavily incentivized to try to do a 5-man stack, and you're obviously heavily incentivized on the other team to stack against that, so that you're not alone. But they do get the free flash, which is reasonably relevant.
Yep, but I do want to point out that the only CC for red side right now, level 1, was that blitzcrank pull, so there was no way he could have gotten CC'd after he got pulled, so they had to have prepared for that a little bit better. That being said, that is all that's going to be, is a flash for nothing on red side. Junglers starting off normally, getting leashes by their bot lanes, and that's going to be all she wrote for those buffs.
I did tell Lee Suckme that I was going to judge him for his Kindred play because he doesn't play Kindred very often. He is just playing it because I asked him to, or demanded him to, in order to cast this. But I am going to call him out on the Press the Attack summoner. That is a very common summoner for people to take on Kindred, but I don't think it's actually the best. I think Dark Harvest is actually the best right now. So we'll see if he's going to be able to utilize that to the fullest. Because you certainly can take Press the Attack. I think it's a little better for kind of like an assassination build, with like the 3 hits on your E synchronizing with the 3 hits from the Press the Attack. But...
Extrany knocking up Chai is awesome, getting the pull on him. The kill is going to go down here for Habibi Poppy. Good kill onto the Tristana. Both summoners burned as well for both summoners of Extranees.
Just blitzcrank things.
Hashtag just blitzcrank things. Now, Leona didn't even go aggressive there, which is not what Leona wants to do. Leona wants to be the one making the plays, and if you're getting the plays made on you, you're doing something wrong as Leona. Now, I do want to point out that Bricken had to burn his flash in this top lane earlier. He had a
blitzcrank roam here.
Yeah, another blitzcrank roam to the mid lane. He isn't going to land a pull. He's just going to back under tower. Misses the pull.
What a troll.
What a troll. What BM.
We see Kindred, as we mentioned, not opting into wanting to fight the Kazakhs, just farms his Krugs, and then is coming down to farm his Raptors now, and it looks like he's going to just move down towards his bottom side mark. A lot of times you think of that as like bad RNG, to be like opposite of the side you finish your initial Wolf's buff path on, but it's actually good RNG here, because he doesn't want to fight the Kazakhs for it. So he wants to go to the bottom, like essentially uncontested, while Kazakhs is up top.
Kazakhs is going to get the trade kill. Birkin going down, as well as UBS going down. UBS did lose the 1v1, which is saying something because Birkin had to burn his flash before. Luckily, Blade Runner is there to pick up the kill after UBS dies.
Yeah,
Landing the pull, buffered, nice job, Ty is awesome.
Well played.
Sorry to interrupt you there, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Kindred does get to counter jungle the Raptors here, so he trades the Scuttle Mark and the Raptors in exchange for the kill that Kazakhs gets, but of course Jarvan also gets the kill up in top lane, so I think overall the advantage is going towards Zhang Gang here, especially because it looks like Blitzcrank is getting some vision down in the jungle. So this bottom lane should be pretty safe. Honestly, Kazakhs doesn't have a lot to do on the map right now, because like he doesn't have any camps. All his camps are bottom side that Kindred's just taking from him, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with his time on the map, because he doesn't really have anything to farm.
Yep. Extra showing his muscles there in that mid lane, flashing under tower. Ubi is showing his muscles at the top
way
lane.
Too far up.
Yeah, mid lane and Bonsai too far up here. Blade Runner going to get a lot of damage onto him. The tentacles slapping Bonsai in the face. Doesn't get any kill there. Does get a lot of pressure on this mid lane, forcing him to go back. Extra going to get that ward in the bot lane. A lot of damage going out in this game, but not a lot of kills going out.
So that's a situation where Blitzcrank and Kindred need to be calling out where Kazakhs could potentially be, because like they're in the bottom side, taking all these camps and getting on this vision down. Like you know he's not bottom side, so you know the only place he could be is top side, right?
Yeah.
Like, he can't be in the bottom side because you're there. And you would expect him to go there because those are where his camps are. But if he's just expecting you to be there counter jungling him, then he's going to be going somewhere else to proactively make something happen. Like we said, it'll be interesting to see what he does with his time. The only real thing he did have that he could potentially do was go gank mid. So that's a situation where either Ori needs to be more perceptive about what's going on, or her team needs to call out to her and let her know what's going on with Kha'Zix's potential location, so she knows not to be that far up, and she gets to keep her summoner heal instead of having to burn it. Not the biggest loss in the world, but just things like that with tracking the enemy jungler can kind of save you summoners or your life.
Yeah, I agree. Bricken getting engaged on by UBS. UBS does have Ignite, but I don't think he's going to burn it yet. A lot of pings going on this bot lane on the way pings from red side. They know that Blade Runner is down there. They probably want to try and get the kill on him, but he just walks away. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah, it looks like they're just clearing out some vision here. Both Kindred and Kha'Zix were there, so I don't think anyone really wanted to do a 3v3 there. So just clearing out a ward, backing off. Looks like Kindred just wants to farm her top side. I think Kha'Zix is just going to go take this mark and then maybe look to try to dive top side. I think Chindamir's pretty close to 6, and he's dead.
And he's dead.
Never mind.
Birkin got level 6 before he did,
Yep.
which is very important because he doesn't have the ult to save himself. At least Select Me is going to
Okay,
try
got
and
this
get
mark.
this mark, but he's going to get engaged on. At least Select Me going pretty low, half health. So is Blade Runner. Blade Runner is super low now. He's out of this fight now. And the shockwave coming in, time broken low, had to burn flash and barrier. Does go down. And now the
So we said you... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, you typically don't want to opt into that 2v2 as Kindred and Orianna, but I think they had a little bit of an advantage there in terms of, like, HP and positioning there. And, like, it's obviously not hopeless. I would not have tried to go for that if I were the Kindred, because it is dangerous if the other team's mid roams first, but that's more of like a solo queue mentality where you just expect your lanes to never help you.
yeah.
If you know your Orianna's coming, then you do have a little bit of position advantage there, because the Vel'Koz couldn't actually get to the Kindred to burst her down. If Vel'Koz isn't in position to do that, then yeah, Vel'Koz and Kha'Zix together can just put all their bursts into Kindred, just kill her immediately, and then turn on Ori. But that was not the case there, so they were able to get an advantage.
Yep. This two-man stack of X-Trainee and Elise Select Me on these two champions are doing very well. He's even going to get this red buff after getting the kill and the mark. With nothing going down for blue side, and then they do get the ward to spot out the pink ward and the red buff going down. X-Trainee is just going to keep flashing his mastery. Gets the hook onto Ty's Awesome, but doesn't get anything for it.
Blade Runner's trying to vertical jungle here, but he's super low and doesn't have smite, so he doesn't actually get to take this red buff, which is really unfortunate for him.
Yep, he can't do anything. He was going to try and go for that red buff, but he was too low. Didn't have the pressure, but Bricken isn't going to be able to kill his Tryndamere now. He has a button that says I don't die. So we'll have to see how that works out. But Kindred did just mark Tristana, which implies that... or did it just go down? I couldn't tell. Let me check here. Ubi is going to try and go on Bricken. Does get the flag and drag out of Bricken there. Let me see if Tristana is marked. Tristana is currently marked. So that implies that Kindred is going to be trying to go that bot lane to potentially get a dive off. Now he is level 6, so they can dive, kill, pop the ult, and then call it good from there.
They're waiting here in anticipation of Kha'Zix coming into his bottom side jungle because they just took the red, but I think he just expects that jungle to be gone, so he's going top side to take his blue.
Yep.
So they're wasting a little bit of time here, but I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. Looks like they're going to 3-man on Vel'Koz here.
And they're going to get the pull. They're going to hit the whole pull. They're going to kill him. They're going to do the shockwave as well. Time broken, getting taken down this mid lane. Get the kill going over to the Kindred.
I was just about to say he's gonna be okay here, and then Blitzcrank hit that flash hook, and then he was no longer okay. Very well played by X-Trainee.
He thought he was going to be okay, and then he was no longer okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Kindred can honestly solo this Drake here, especially
Yeah.
with the bottom lane backing.
Oh,
Ooh,
Ty's Awesome. Didn't get to go back.
that's super
Gets knocked up
unfortunate.
mid lane. Gets the pull. Gets the kill. Habibi Poppy doesn't pick it up. X-Trainee actually picks it up with
Was
an
that
auto
the
attack.
Blitzcrank passive from his ult canceling the back?
Nope. He walked up and autoed, and then he autoed the wave so that he could get the pull off while after he had knocked him up during the knockup or during the
It's super
jump.
unfortunate whenever you're trying to back with your support
Yeah.
and one of you gets your
Oh.
back canceled and the other one doesn't.
Well played by Ubius trying to get out of there. Only burns the flash and the dash, whereas Bricken burns flash and ult for that. He did use the ult to survive earlier, which is why Bricken thought he could go for that, but doesn't get the kill there. 6 kills already for Zhang Gang. Bonsai taking a lot of damage. The death beam there, trying to get the kill, but doesn't quite get the kill.
Yeah, the life form disintegration ray
Yep.
got Bonsai pretty low, but he was able to shield himself, able to stay alive. But he is going to lose this entire wave. to the turret. Blitzcrank might be here to catch the XP, or he might just not care.
Yeah, I don't think he cares. He just wants to get hooks on. That's his entire job this game.
Oh,
He doesn't have
this is a
anyone.
dangerous situation.
Doesn't have anyone near him though, so it's just gonna be himself.
Oh.
He is alone against a 2v2 there. He does back off. He understands the risks.
Yeah.
Good choice there by Extrini.
Looks like we could have some action. Kindred going in for a gank in top lane. I think the ult is down for Tryndamere.
Yeah, it is currently still down. He does get the slow, does get the damage off. He is looking to kill. He does get the kill. Another kill going over to the Kindred. 2-0 already on this
The
champion.
execute damage on the E is super strong. If you have somebody out of position like that, they're most likely going to be dead.
Extrini looking for another pull.
Plat
Misses
or-
it onto the Leona. Does not get the kill there. But a lot of damage going to go on this tower. Even with only 2 minions there, there's another wave coming immediately. So they're going to get so much damage.
Top.
I don't think they have it just yet, although Tryndamere is just now alive and he doesn't have teleport, so yeah, you're right. I think it is going to go down with
He's
that
gonna be
flag.
using his Q for attack speed to raise the turret a little faster.
Yep.
I don't know if everyone knows that, but the Dance of Arrows, when it was reworked, now gives attack speed based on your marks.
Bonsai going down. Blade Runner does have to flash, get over the wall for that kill, but Blade Runner does get the kill onto Bonsai. 2-0 on this Kha'Zix, 2 on the Kindred. These junglers are going to be super far ahead. X-Trainee getting the CC onto him. Back of Salt trying to use the Cosmere to get the kills, but doesn't quite get the kills
Poppy
off.
saving Blitzcrank's life there with some clutch arrow pulls.
Yep.
I don't know that I like the bottom lane and the mid lane Orianna. Oops, we got a
Ooh.
hook.
Another hook going on to Ty's awesome, but Bag of Salt, they've been at the target here because he's low, but both low. Blade Runner is down here, so he could probably pick up the kills. X-Trainee needs to go back here. He is super low. Kha'Zix can just pick him up. Vel'Koz's going to be going down here. Does get ulted on by Bricken. Does get the kill for Bricken. Blade Runner going to be the next target of Elise Suck Me. Oh, trying to get the kill on X-Trainee before he goes down, but he does go down to have it be Poppy.
So I was gonna say I don't know that I'm a huge fan of them opting into that 3v4 when Kindred and J4 were taking the first blood turret top. Like you know you don't have numbers, so you probably don't want to aggressively take that fight. But ended up not mattering in the end because they were able to get some return kills.
Yep, agreed. Now this is already a 6,000 gold lead at 12 minutes. That is absolutely massive. That is 9 kills, a turret, and a bunch of CS differential. There's 20 CS for top lane, 50 CS. What? Wait, what? I just looked at the jungle CS. That is 90 CS compared to the 40 CS of Kha'Zix.
Hey, we out here.
Holy moly.
Yeah, there's been a lot of jungle priority for Kindred this game, and a lot of that stems from the Blitzcrank, just basically winning bot lane and coming into the jungle in duo jungling with the Kindred. That gives a lot of priority towards map control in the jungle. So like the couple times we talked about Kindred just taking the entire bottom side for Kha'Zix, you do that like 2 or 3 times, like it's happened so far, you're gonna have a 50 CS lead. Got a Tryndamere ult in top lane.
Tryndamere had his ult to save himself. Bricken does not have his ult up though. Does get the lance stabity there to get the kill. Doesn't.
He had the Fury to Q.
He did.
Unlucky.
I don't think he thought he was gonna die there.
Yeah, but like you have to know his Q's coming back up, and you really have to have an internal timer in your head when you play Tryndamere in terms of when that ult is over, so that you can use your Q for the heal, because it does give you Fury when you pop it.
Yep.
Because you need that to get out, because if you just stay at like 30 HP, then you're gonna die to a strong breeze.
Yeah. Not even a strong breeze, just a light breeze. Now, Time Broken going to be the next target here of this Kindred Blitzcrank combo. They do get the kill onto him. Now, Lisa Luckme is the next target. He does not have ult up, though. Ubius is going to be the target. Oh, he gets Ubius there again. Kindred getting the kill onto Kha'Zix. Blade Runner going down. Back of Salt going to be the next target. Triple kill for Elise Luckme.
That's my girl.
Breakin getting another tower. That is 3 towers going down the top lane. They're also going to get this bot lane tower. As another tower push in this lane. Now, Bricken's going to be trying to get this inhibitor, too. Inhibitor at 15 minutes. This is a rough game by ADC Machine.
I would also like to note that Kindred has 7 marks, which means at 4 you get the first range bonus, and then after that it's every 3. So 7 marks is a breakpoint. The next breakpoint is 10. 7 marks at 15 minutes is pretty insane.
X-Train kind of got abandoned there. Does get killed for it, but
Team.
like it rip. All those turrets going down. That is 6 turret lead. That is 12,000 gold in the lead. Excellent, excellent. Take a moment to understand. 12,000 gold in the lead at 15 minutes. At least like he's just gonna pop that ult and be good. Gonna get the heal off.
No, he's
Not good. Not
He has
good.
No team.
No team. Not good. Blame team for not helping me there. Everyone else is backed other than Bonsai. But anyway, that is
Mistakes were made.
that is almost 12,000 straight up gold at 15 minutes. That is
And inhibitor. That's a
And-
huge lead.
and that, oh my, I can't even right now. Like normally I'm able to sit here and analyze like how Blue Side can come back in this game, but that is
Wait, who took the Rift Herald? Was that Tryndamere?
yeah, Tryndamere has Rift Herald on him.
Okay. He just hasn't popped it. Okay.
Yeah, no. I still got about 20 seconds left on it, 20 to 30 seconds, so it's not like the most dire need to pop it right now.
Well, the problem with Rift Herald when you're behind is you can't really protect it to
Yeah.
like siege a turret, like unless you get a pick or something like that. So like if he pops the Rift Herald, like you can't really go with it to take the turret, and the other team can just group and like 2 to 3 people on it and kill it.
Doesn't hit the hook onto Time Broken there. Bag of Salt looking to engage, doesn't get it though. But I do what I do think would be a cheeky thing for them to do is pop Riptail in the top lane so that Riptail combats the Super Minion wave. So it's just something to have there. Breaking going in on the Blade Runner though. Does rip Blade Runner. Holy cow. Breaking doing so much damage. Just ults and gets Ty's awesome Tristan. He's on Nexus turrets right now. He
Oh,
doesn't
we had a Kindred Tryndamere fight.
Tryndamere fight, the 2 unkillable players. Doesn't get the hook either. UBS does not have ult, which is why he didn't want to stay there.
Report Blitzcrank.
Report Blitzcrank for missing poles, clearly. Breaking not staying in the top side to try and get pressure on the Nexus towers, but BB Poppy and Breaking going to stay here in this mid lane to try and get this tower there. It looks like they are going to try and get it. They don't quite get it right now, but they probably will on the next wave. There's just so much pressure. See, they do pop the Rift Herald top lane. He was about to run out, I think, which is why they popped it
Yeah,
there.
they had to pop it before it ended. And it looks like I think it will head towards top, yeah, to combat their super minions. So
Yep, good idea. Bricken looking to engage onto Time Broken, does not pull the trigger, does not have ult. He doesn't. The pull landing onto Time Broken, the Shockwave getting the kill. Bag of Salt going in, getting the stun onto Bricken, but doesn't have any effect. At least Suckme getting the last hit on that tower. They're doing so much damage to these objectives at 18 minutes into this game. They're losing a second inhib tower at 18 minutes. This is unwinnable at this point. There's no way that Blue Side wins this game unless throw upon throw upon throw upon throw by Zhang Gang comes in at this point.
yeah, this one's pretty over. This is where you do the unanimous early surrender in solo queue.
Yep, but for our purposes, they play through it because storylines matter.
I think they're just going to rotate all down bottom here
And
just
try and
buy
get
minions
that-
turret and brute force it.
Rift Herald is still alive, pushing the wave topside, so they at least have that going for them. Bricken looking to engage, doesn't find anything just yet. They do get the turret. Inhib is the next target. They're going to be triple inhib at 18 minutes. Bricken does go in, insta-bursts Time Broken. They do get the
this
trade kill.
Kindred
Tryndamere does go down. Leona does go down to the Kindred. That is absolutely amazing. Ty is awesome.
Saving that J4 and inting.
And inting. Ty's awesome goes down. That's almost an ace. Blade Runner, the only one alive, is trying to avoid going down here. But there isn't really a whole lot they can do. This is 19 minutes. Nexus Tower is the ones being pressured. Rift Herald has gone down on the top side.
Double supers in each lane.
Double supers in each lane, but Blade Runner going to be the target. Blade Runner, Training Externity missing the pull on the Blade Runner. Blade Runner not going to be able to do anything here. Death timers are low though, so they do have to back out, I believe. No Nexus towers go down, but that's 3 inhibs at 19 minutes that are down. Top lane inhibitor will come back up fairly soon, but even then, it's still not that soon. Ubius does the X
They
trainee.
might still just lose these towers even without any champions pressuring them.
Yep. Oh,
They're getting low.
those towers are so low. They do have some base health regen, but any super minion attacking that like twice is going to take it down. So all Blue Side can do is clear waves and hope to God they don't just lose immediately.
So one thing to note, not that I necessarily think it'll assist them in coming back because they're 16k gold down. When you have all these waves shoving in like this, you're getting all this gold and experience flooding into your base, and like red team, they have nothing to farm because like the minions are just dying in the blue side base. I mean, I say nothing to farm. They have like both jungles to farm, but
I mean, they have both jungles and they have both major objectives. Bricken targeting Bag of Salt, though. He is going to get the flash out of Bag of Salt. The ult coming out from Leona trying to get the kill. He does go down to Bricken. Bricken is 9-2 in this game. I think that's going to be game. Double splitters in each wave. They're just going to push the base. Not even going to go for Baron. They should hit these towers like twice. And that one's down.
this is over.
And that one's down. Next is the next target. That, my friends, is going to be a Zhang being your Learning 5's October to December 2017 Gold Plat Tournament champions, unless they troll me here, in which case I'm going to be tilted. Oh, Bricken getting 2 kills to end the game. Ty is also going to be the target of X-Train. He does get the kill midair, getting the win. Good job, Zhang. Congratulations, you've done it. You are the winners.
All I'm gonna say is we finally got the Kindred game, and Kindred dominated. So, scoreboard 1-0 Kindred.
Coincidence?
say.
I think not.
Hashtag got him.
Hashtag got him. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us tonight. Keep tuning in tomorrow, though, because we have the Bronze Silver Finals. Those are always action-packed, and we'll hope to see you there. Last closing thoughts, X-Line.
Kindred hype.
Kindred hype. Alright, if you guys haven't already, follow us on Discord, follow us on Twitter, follow both Penguin and both me and X-Line on Twitter, if you care enough to. If you like what you saw, please join. Feel free to join the Learning Fives. We will have another match tomorrow, maybe casted by me, maybe casted by some of our other lovely casters. We will see, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.